Welcome to our channel, DeCarollis Financial Solutions. My name is Brenda DeCarollis. My husband and I are financial coaches. In today's video, we're going to be covering 5 simple ways to maintain your credit so that it stays in excellent standing. This can also apply to those people who have suffering credit situations, and if you apply these principles, it will help to improve your credit score as well. So let's dive in. The first one might be pretty obvious. So it's make your payments on time every time. Everything really reports to the credit bureau that has consequences with your banking institution to determine whether you're an eligible borrower for more credit at any given time. So your credit cards, your lines of credit, your mortgage payments are huge, but all of these revolving credit lines, car payments, student loan payments, all of these things report to your credit report. Other utilities like electricity and gas might not, but it's still a good habit to make sure you're making your payments on time because it just puts you in good standing everywhere and everybody will be willing to lend to you. One thing you want to keep in mind is if your payment is set for the 15th of a month, especially let's say you have your checking account with one bank and your credit card with another bank. The payment doesn't post the same day. So you do not want to be making your payment on the 15th. You want to be making it at least 3 to 4 business days prior to the date. So instead of the 15th, I would say make the payment on the 10th or the 11th so that the payment posts on time and doesn't get triggered as a late payment. Another easy way to get over this is by setting up pre-authorized payments. So if it's automatically coming out of your checking account or off of your credit card every single month to make these payments, or a line of credit, however you choose to make your payments, then setting it up by pre-authorized payments, if you happen to go away on vacation, it doesn't have a negative effect and you've made your payment on time without any consequences. The second one is don't hold high balances on your credit lines. The credit reporting agencies like Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they do monitor this. So you generally do not want to hold a balance higher than 30% of your credit limit. So if you've got a $10,000 credit limit, never hold a balance higher than $3,000. If you do, then it starts to negatively affect your score and you'll notice your score dropping. If you just make your minimum payments, then that balance could keep creeping up and up. So a good practice is by using one credit card to make all of your monthly expenses, like your food, your gas, utilities, whatever you have to make payments on, and then pay it off all in one shot every single month. So it brings it back down to a $0 balance. But you never want to be holding a balance higher than 30% of the credit limit because it will affect your score negatively. Number 3, never close your revolving accounts. Even if you pay off a credit card down to 0, you're holding a balance and now it's down to 0, you do not want to be closing those accounts because these credit reporting agencies, they take a look at the length of history of your accounts. So if you close an account that you've had for 15 years and it gets closed, and then the only cards that you left open have only been open for, let's say, 2 or 3 years, then that brings your credit reporting history down to 2 to 3 years. And they use longevity and length of credit history as part of the scoring to say that you're a worthy candidate for borrowing, or even these days you even have to apply for rentals. If you're renting, if you don't own a home, if you want to rent a place, they're going to check your credit score and they look at all of these things. So if the credit reporting agency is going to ding your score significantly by closing an account, just keep them open and be wary of applying for credit cards that have an annual fee. If you already have credit cards that have an annual fee, then just continue paying it, but don't continue applying for more credit cards that's going to charge you an annual fee because there's no point in that. So be very mindful of how many credit cards you are holding. And lines of credit generally don't have any annual fees, so those are really good ones just to always keep open. But obviously on something that's an installment loan, like a car loan or a student loan or a personal loan, the minute that you pay that off, it gets closed, and that's okay. That's the nature of an installment loan. It doesn't revolve. Anything that's a revolving credit line, you want to make sure it's always staying open. Number 4, don't over apply for credit lines. Too many hard credit checks is not good because it does affect your score. Now, this is not to say don't go buy a house or apply for a mortgage. If you have to do that and get your credit checked, they generally tend to understand if you're trying to buy a house. They're not going to use that against you negatively, so it's okay. But the one thing they don't want to see you doing is applying for like 10 to 15 credit cards in one shot and getting declined here, getting declined there. You want to just spread it out and make sure you're being very wise as to who you're allowing to check your credit. You want to protect this as much as possible and always be aware of when your credit is being checked. Next, review your credit reports regularly. Generally, the credit reporting agencies will allow you to pull your personal credit report for free once every year, but you can also go for their monthly monitoring plans that cost maybe $20 plus a month, just to make sure that you can check your credit score at any time. You can review it personally without it having a hard credit check. It's called the soft credit check. You can pull your credit report 10 times a day if you wanted to on your own. It's only when the bank checks it for you when you're applying for something that it's a hard credit check. So these things are important. If you review your credit report regularly, you can make sure that all the information is kept up to date and is correct, and make sure that there's no lines of credit or any loans that are on there that you never applied for. Anything that's signs of any kind of identity theft, that's a big one today. So you do want to make sure that you're in the know and in control of your credit report. Okay, that pretty much sums it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It would really help us if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us to get the word out there. We're financial coaches. If you need any assistance or have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to us anytime. All right, have a great one. And if you didn't know, now you know.